Right, so these two have been fighting a lot recently, and our midfield hasn't got no creativity, apparently. By the way, that's Mini Mane and that's Mini Mo. So I want to present a question to you, Redmond's Army. Is it time to implement the one, the only, the main Swiss in Xherdan Shaqiri? Hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. It's been a while, but some people probably thought I was just doing the live streams from now on. Not the case. The Redmond Roundups are still coming because I understand, even though the live streams have been booming, shout out to yourself by the way, pat yourself on your back. Even though they're booming, these videos are obviously, I understand people still like the video format type of videos. Hence why man is still being the postman and I am delivering to you guys. That being said, we've got a topic to talk about and it involves a man in the name of Xherdan Shaqiri. And I feel like a lot of people already have dismissed this question that I've asked on this video. Like, oh James, what's Xherdan Shaqiri going to do right now in a situation? Genie's better than him. Hendo's better than him. In terms of what he adds to the team, maybe not offensively, but Hendo is ahead of him, let's say that. Thiago's ahead of him, Salah's ahead of him, Mane's ahead of him, Firmino's ahead of him. So where does Shaqiri get into this team? Well, let me just rebound your question, if that is your question, with my question. Well, even though all these players are, yes, ahead of Shaqiri, usually in the pecking order, why do Liverpool have to have a set starting 11? And I've been saying this across a few platforms over the past few days, but why do Liverpool have to have a set starting 11? Because for me, if you're talking to me and just asking for my little old opinion, I think it's one of them case scenarios where when you're a club like Liverpool, if players aren't performing, you rotate. You rotate and you use the squad that you've got. How long have we been crying for a fit Xherdan Shaqiri just because of what he'll add to our squad? We've got no Diogo Jota. Divock Origi doesn't really add much when he's on the pitch no more, and it doesn't really feel like Klopp wants to give him the chance. We know Minamino's not good enough. No one can present an argument to me to why Minamino right now is good enough to replace a Mo or a Mane or someone in the midfield. Now I'll tell you who I want Shaqiri to replace, who I want in the team for in a second, but I do want Shaqiri to probably be implemented into this squad. Let me tell you why. And you're probably thinking, wait James, you do know we've got United next. Exactly, that's what I mean. What's been Liverpool's biggest problem recently? It's not been keeping possession. We've been able to keep possession just fine. It's not even been creating chances. We're still creating chances. We're still getting more shots on than the opposition. Our number one problem, well actually two. First one being defending, because obviously we've got a few defensive frailties, but we've got Matip back for this game, so I think that's not as worrying as it would be if it was Reece Williams. So the number one problem we've got is taking our chances, because even with these two fit, these two absolutely gorgeous specimens on their day being fit, them two will cause problems. That being so, Mo Salah is still getting goals, yet everyone's saying he's playing shit, including myself. Why? Because he is. He could be getting a lot more goals, but he's still getting them because that's just what he does. It's about getting them chances away. And the same with this guy. He's known for being not selfish. Listen, both of them are being selfish. Mane's being selfish. Salah's being selfish. Move them out the way. But you get the point that I'm trying to address to you. Right now, the team just isn't clicking well together, and I want to see players on that pitch step up to the plate and actually take a chance. What was ever the point in buying Shaqiri? Regardless what you think of Shaqiri, right? Whether you think he's good, bad, overrated, regardless, you know he's got a bit of quality. Why did we buy Shaqiri if we're not going to use him in times like now, where clearly there's so many players out of form? Now, I'm not even saying take out a Salah, because even though the other day I might have suggested that on my channel, Salah is the one who gets most of our goals, and you don't solve the lack of goals recently by taking out the one person who gets the most. So I understand you don't take out Salah. Maybe you take out Mane, but then again you lose the defensive side of things that he adds to the team. So maybe now you need to start looking in the midfield, and maybe can Shaqiri find a place there, and who can he fill in for? Well, Gini Wijnaldum's a player that's been needing a lot of rests in terms of football. He's been playing too much recently. He's been playing week in, week out. He's had a bar. Well, before, he's just played against under-18s, by the way, but before that Midtjylland game a few weeks back, he played like 70 games in a row. Mr. Reliable, don't get me wrong, but he does, in my opinion, need a bit of a rest. I mean, obviously, maybe Jurgen Klopp is just rinsing every last bit of Gini Wijnaldum that he can get out of him, because, you know, I'm not sure if he will be signing that new contract. However, is this just a game for Xherdan Shaqiri? Someone who's going to come into either that midfield or the front three and, you know, just add a bit of something, add a bit of flair. I mean, you saw the link-up play between Firmino, Thiago and Shaqiri, yes, against 12-year-olds, but you saw that it actually added something to that game before that. Where was the link-up play between anyone? It was individual moments. At least then, we got to see a bit of team play. Do you know what I mean? Nico Williams had a good game as well. Actually, really good point to bring on. Nico Williams, well done, James. Pat myself on the back. If Trent has a crap game against Man United, why should he start the game after that? He's had a terrible season. And obviously I'm back on my right back and I want him to be back into form as soon as possible. I still put Trent up there as the best right back in the world. Come at me, not defensively, but overall I really, really do. And I don't think just half a bad season should take that away from him. Because if you'd asked me that question in the summer, I say Trent is clear the best right back in the world. That being said, even though I feel that way, he's not that way on form. In fact, he's one of the worst right-backs in the league on form. And just because he's the Trent Alexander-Arnold and we all love him and he's our scouser, if you're not playing well, you don't have the right to be in the first team. And I'm not even just talking about what he's doing on the pitch. Not only did he give away, 38 times against Southampton, he gave the ball away the most from any individual in a game this season. But not only did he do that, he's not been playing well consistently. And he's actually causing us problems in terms of conceding goals. And then you look at people like James Milner, who's playing brilliantly when he comes on. You look at people like Nico Williams, who had a really good run of games before Trent came back from injury. And you think, these players shouldn't just have a nail stamp in terms of whether they should start or not. It should be about form and it should be about taking opportunities. So that's my opinion on how Liverpool can solve this bad form and go into that United game with a little bit more confidence than what we've probably all got at the moment. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you want to see Shaqiri, whether that's in the midfield, whether that's in the front three, would you want to see Shaqiri implemented? And the same with other areas in the squad. Let me know in the comments down below. Where do Liverpool right now need to be looking at and thinking, now we need to change there? Because now, even though we had loads of injuries a few weeks ago, even within the squad depth, we couldn't even rotate. If you're a neutral, we couldn't rotate a few weeks ago. At least now we can rotate to an extent. We've still got players back in an extent. So we've got Oxlade-Chamberlain, but he looks a bit slow right now. The only player who looks decent when he comes on is Xherdan Shaqiri. So why not give it a try? What's our biggest problem at the moment? Getting goals. Let's get someone who can at least help that. Do you get what I mean? And you never know. Maybe Xherdan can bring the best out of Bobby. Maybe he can bring even more the best out of Thiago. Because these are flair players who probably bounce off each other. These are probably the ones in training who pass it to each other the most, just because they're very similar in terms of how they want to play football. These don't chill with Jordan Henderson. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, maybe, I'm not saying sacrifice Hendo for what he adds to the team, definitely not. But you could sacrifice a Curtis Jones if he was going to start. You could sacrifice a Gini Wijnaldum for a one-off game for sure. So that's my thoughts on it. I wouldn't mind seeing Shaqiri being brought in. Even if it was for Mo Salah, which was the argument I addressed the other day, against Man United, I wouldn't dispute Shaqiri starting over Mo and then Mo being brought on for the last half an hour or the last 35 minutes, whatever. Because I feel like recently, you know, case study being Crystal Palace 7-0, when Salah comes off the bench, it's like he's got a little fire in his arse, do you get what I mean? And I don't know, I just think it could benefit us. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if I'm chatting shit. That's what this Redmond Roundup's for, and that's what this LFC opinion show is for. But thank you for watching this video. Another Redmond Roundup is going to come tonight with a reaction to the Tottenham-Fulham game, because obviously that's a big game in the title race, isn't it? Because there's about 8 teams in it. Anyway, people, thank you for watching. Smash the likes. Thank you to the Redmond Army, and I will see you all later, my friends. Peace out.